How to make homemade nut butters with a rich texture. 1. Choose high-quality nuts. Select fresh, high-quality nuts for the best flavor and texture. Common choices include almonds, peanuts, cashews, and hazelnuts. Toasting the nuts lightly before blending can enhance their flavor and make them easier to process. 2. Use a high-powered food processor. A high-powered food processor is essential for achieving a smooth, rich texture. The processor's blade should be sharp enough to break down the nuts into a creamy consistency. Avoid using a blender, as it may not be effective for nut butters. 3. Toast nuts for enhanced flavor. For a deeper flavor, lightly toast the nuts in a dry skillet over medium heat or in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 degrees Celsius, for about 8 to 10 minutes. Allow them to cool before processing to avoid overheating the machine. 4. Process nuts in batches. If you're making a large batch, process the nuts in smaller portions. This ensures a more consistent texture and prevents the processor from becoming overloaded. Scrape down the sides of the bowl frequently to ensure even processing. 5. Add oil for creaminess. For a rich and smooth texture, add a small amount of neutral oil, such as vegetable or canola oil, to the nuts as they process. Start with 1 to 2 tablespoons and add more if needed. This helps achieve the desired consistency and prevents the nut butter from being too dry. 6. Sweeten and season to taste. Enhance the flavor of your nut butter with a touch of sweetness or seasoning. Consider adding a small amount of honey, maple syrup, or a pinch of salt. You can also incorporate spices like cinnamon or vanilla extract for extra flavor. 7. Blend to desired consistency. Continue processing the nuts until you achieve your preferred consistency. For a chunky nut butter, blend until smooth but with some texture remaining. For a creamy nut butter, process until it reaches a silky, spreadable texture. 8. Store properly for freshness. Transfer the nut butter to an airtight container and store it in the refrigerator to extend its shelf life. Homemade nut butter typically lasts for 2 to 3 weeks when refrigerated. Stir before use, as natural oils may separate. 9. Experiment with nut combinations. Don't be afraid to experiment with different nut combinations to create unique flavors. Mixing nuts like almonds and cashews or adding a bit of coconut can result in interesting and delicious variations. 10. Keep the processor clean. After making your nut butter, clean the food processor thoroughly to remove any residual oils and nut bits. This helps maintain the machine's performance and prevents flavor cross-contamination for future uses. Making homemade nut butters is a rewarding process that allows you to control the texture and flavor of your spread. By choosing quality nuts, using the right equipment, and following these steps, you can create rich, delicious nut butters that are perfect for sandwiches, smoothies, and more.